Hello, friends, and welcome to a Wealthy Wednesday. We're going to talk in this section about wealth building. We're going to talk about investments. We'll talk about saving, talk about profit and loss statements. We'll talk about bookkeeping, all things about earning income and then what to do with it. But I thought that I would start this Wealthy Wednesday off in just a little bit different of a way. And that is, you can be wealthy in more ways than just income. There's lots of ways to be wealthy. Wealthy in our relationships, wealthy in the love that we have surrounding us, wealthy in the connections that we have and the impact that we have on others and the significance that we make. So I kind of wanted to lean a little bit into one particular topic. And there's you'll hear lots of different trainings and on mindset and about gratitude. That's what we're going to talk about today, but also making room for extra in your life. Because if you are not grateful or thankful for the things you have, there's the law of the universe, if you will, that more is not going to pour into you. So if you're not really super grateful, that's the people that are grateful, the people that are thankful, the people that show that gratitude and humility are the ones that do continue to grow. So if you are having a very difficult time in adding wealth into your life, then maybe it's time to just take a step back and talk a little bit about the mindset. And that's what we're going to spend the next couple of weeks is one, we're going to talk about gratitude today, but next week we're really going to sit down and we're going to talk about your mindset around making money. A lot of people will never make a lot of money because they have negative feelings surrounded by money. And I have especially dealt with this with women for many, many years, that they either don't deserve it or money is evil or, just so many different things. And I've actually done this training before, and it's pretty impactful for people. So we're going to talk about that on next Wednesday, is the mindset of the ability to make money and what your feelings around money are. So I think that before we dive into how to make the money, you have to have the right mindset to receive money. And that is important. But today I want to talk about gratitude. Because gratitude and being thankful for what you have is probably one of the most important things that you can have to add more abundance to your life. And when we are grateful for things, we actually present in a different way to others, where other people actually want to have more interactions with us because they feel that from us. And so it's really important that you get into a mindset of gratitude. Now, I have, as many of you may or may not be aware of, but goal setting and time management has been two big pieces that I've taught to hundreds of different companies and corporations, and that's been sort of one of my main subjects. I've taught on many different subjects, but that has been a big one that I have carried over into whatever industry that it is that I have spoken about. And so when I had a gentleman on my podcast about, it was the year right before COVID. So probably 2019. And he made a statement that people that use gratitude journals have a 40% greater chance of achieving their goals. And, I was kind of doing the interview and I had my notes there and I was asking him different questions. And when he said that, it made me pause because I had not ever heard that statistic. And I thought to myself, did he just make that up, or is that from his own surveys? Or, and I think I might have even asked him, and where do you get that data from? And so after I got off the call with him, whenever I do interviews and I'm talking to people, I've got my interview sheet, but then I write down notes of different things that they say. And if it's something I want to go back to, or if it's something that really grabbed my attention that I might want to speak about later or quote, then I immediately underline it or I circle it really big. And so when I get done with my podcast or my interview, then I go through those things that I've circled, and I actually have an exit sheet for that person, and I'll put those different things. Is this somebody that I might want to use if I were putting together an event or a summit, and I might want to have them as a guest speaker? So that's how oftentimes for different summits and events I've gotten guest speakers, is through the people on that podcast that I've interviewed. So when he said that, I circled it. And then as soon as I got off that call, I started doing like sort of a deep dive, Googling about gratitude and goal setting. And then what I found is so many things came up on using a gratitude journal and all the other benefits of it. And I kind of was blown away a little bit. I remember back in the day on Oprah Winfrey's show when she had came out with a gratitude journal. Like this is going back probably 25 years or so. And she had everybody using a gratitude journal. And I remember there was a big movement of everybody using a gratitude journal. And it was 30 days of gratitude and then 90 days of gratitude. And I remember everybody doing it. And I remember kind of thinking, kind of doing it a little bit, but then thinking, oh, whatever. Like I sometimes, and I'm the first to admit this, is I'm a very skill set driven individual. So I always lean into the how-tos of it. But in reality, if you don't have the right mindset, you're never going to be able to do the things. And I have found that with the thousands of individuals that I've worked with. So I could have one person take a course, two people take a course, and get the exact same training. And one person 6 months later is making double the income. They've put the things into action. It's working. And the other one says, I did the exact same thing. And she's exactly where she was. So people used to ask me, why is that? Like, how can you take two people, they walk out of the door, they're both excited, they both tell their leaders, I am going to, wait, just watch me, I'm putting these things into action, and I am going to really make this blow up. And then 6 months later, one has taken off like fire, and the other one is sitting in the exact same space that they were. So why is that? So I used to think, maybe they don't want it bad enough. Like they must not want it bad enough. And then the leader would say, no, I mean, they need the income, la, 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 la. And so then after you sit and you kind of like coach through with somebody, you understand that it's the mindset. It is if they believe that they can, if they actually believe that they want to make more money, or do they have negative feelings around money? And then it comes down to this gratitude, and then being able to be thankful for where you are, because gratitude is the number one ingredient for keeping a healthy, positive attitude. And we know that if you really want to be successful, you need to have a healthy, positive attitude. You can't go into anything with a negative attitude thinking this is never going to work. You have to go into anything you do believing that it is going to work and that you're going to make it work and that you have the ability to make it work. If you just do X, Y, and Z and you're consistent and you go at it and you're kind to people and all the things, then you're going to make this work. And you generally see, that's how I've always felt. And so when people don't have that mindset, they don't have an attitude of gratitude, they don't have a mindset of abundancy. Instead, they have a scarcity mindset. Like, oh, everything that could go wrong is going to go wrong. Where somebody else says, there are going to be challenges, I'll hit them head on, and I will come up with a solution. Like, that's the difference of an optimist and a pessimist, right? Absolutely. And optimists generally have a greater level of success. So one of the things that I have done for years and years, like I'm talking almost 40 years, and I have it right now sitting on the edge of my desk, and that is a half of a glass of water. Now, why do I have that sitting on my desk? It reminds me every day. Like every day when I look at that half glass and I see it, I don't drink it. I have my water bottle that I drink out of. But I look at that glass and I ask myself, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? How are you going to choose to see the glass today? Because it's our choice. It's not anybody else's choice. It's ours. So it is important in keeping a healthy mindset. So I started doing some research on what would be a good gratitude journal because I design pretty good products and I have over the years designed some really awesome products. So I thought, okay, I looked at gratitude journals that were out there, and some of them had redeeming qualities, and others didn't. And so I found out I got like 20 of them, and then I asked different people to critique them. What do you like about this? What do you don't like about it? What do you wish it had? And so therefore, we developed a gratitude journal. And it's changed because I've gotten such really great feedback from people. And the first one was it was kind of a small booklet, and it just was, what are you grateful for today? And there were 3 spaces. That's what some people had said. When there's too much blank space, it makes me feel overwhelmed. So if you can just think of 3 things that you're grateful for every day, then you can write it in. So it was like, okay, we'll start with that. Now, after I had decided I was going to do one, right after that, then COVID happened. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the other benefits of using a gratitude journal. So COVID happened, and I was devastated. I had an entire year of speaking engagements. So that was in March. And I was completely booked out until November. I always did live speaking engagements up through just about Thanksgiving. And then I would take that time off from Thanksgiving to the end of the year and just enjoy that with my family. And then I'd start traveling again in January. And that was kind of my routine. And sometimes it would even be before Thanksgiving. It might be the last speaking engagement was like November 6th. So I was already booked out for the year. And COVID happened, I think on March 17th, there was a lockdown, and it took 10 days for me to lose every single booking in my calendar. Now, a couple of them immediately flipped to online training, so that was good or okay. And but a lot of them didn't. They were just like, oh, we're going to put it on pause at this time, and we'll come back and revisit this. We don't know where this is going. And my whole business model honestly changed. And I was freaking out a little bit. I had 8 employees within our company, and I was like, oh my goodness, like what is going to happen? And I was panicked. Like I was actually having some serious panic attacks, and we had other streams of income, which is super important for running a business. You should have within your business model like 3 streams of income so that if something happens to one of them, at least you still have other streams of income coming in. So I did have 3 solid streams of income, but the largest of those 3 was definitely the speaking engagements. So I immediately pulled out the prototype that I had for the gratitude journal that we were designing for the next upcoming year. And so I immediately said, okay, I just need to start using this every day. And so every day I focused on what was good about my business, because if I focused 100% on all the bookings that I had lost, all of the speaking engagements that I had lost, it was overwhelming. I was paralyzed. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know what to do. So I started using that gratitude journal, and I've never been a believer or a fan of using a gratitude journal. I've just used it very sporadically, like for little periods of time, not consistently. So I started using it consistently, and I have to tell you, it actually was amazing at what happened. It caused me to focus. It caused me every day to focus on the things I did have control over, not the things I didn't have control over. It caused me to not spiral out of control and instead say, all right, I can make this happen. I can do this. I can put my focus here. So the very next year, because the gratitude journal had been such a hit selling alongside of our planner, that I said, okay. And some people said, I wish I had other things to kind of journal about in here. So we expanded the gratitude journal. So this is what one looks like. And this is from like 2 years ago, I want to say. And so we have lots of great quotes in there. And then we have, for each month, there's 2 different, we have themes. And so like for January, like the word is expectations, right? So that like, what are you expecting for this year? And then we have write it out. So then people can write out, we have prompts and questions that they can write out. And then for every single day, we have the space for them to write out what they're grateful for. And at the end of the week, it said, what are some of your best moments of the week? Because it is important to also reflect at the end of the week to say, what went well? Gosh, I need to do more of that. That was pretty awesome. Because sometimes when we're moving at a fast breakneck speed, what happens? You even forget about what went right. Because then you start, if you run into a challenge or there's something negative that happens, we're going down this rabbit hole and we forget about the things that worked. So it's good to record that. Then people said to me, and you know what? I love the gratitude journal. It has made such a difference. I had people, because a lot of people now are working it from home during this time. And so a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, for the first time ever, my husband and I are both working from home at the same time. And it was crazy. And they said, I was afraid, like, I want to kill this person. I've never worked in this close of proximity with this person, like 24/7, like worked all day, then had your, family time after. It was just a crazy time. And so they said, I actually started writing down things I was grateful for about my spouse, and I actually started to like them more. Like then they started getting along better. Like it was really amazing at the feedback that we received from this. It really and truly was. And then they said, but some days I wake up and I don't even know, like, what am I grateful for today? I feel like every day I'm grateful for, my home. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my job. And then they would be like, it's the same things every day. And I can't think of anything different. So then we went back and we created 30 fun things that you probably are grateful for in your life, but you just can't think of. So like if you get stuck, here's some ideas on things you probably are grateful for. And take a look at them and then say, you know what? Yeah, today I am really grateful for this. So what is a gratitude journal good for? So here's all the wonderful benefits of using a gratitude journal. First and foremost, there is data, a lot of data on that. People that use gratitude journals have a 40% greater chance of achieving their goals. Why? Like, why is that? He said that, but he didn't have really a reason as to why is that. Because it makes them more intentional. No, it's because they have a healthy, positive attitude. They're focused on what works, not on what doesn't. They are moving in a positive direction, not stuck in a negative direction. So they have an abundancy mindset versus a scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset is one of the absolute worst things, and we'll talk more about that next week. But it is like, oh, well, this isn't going to work anyway, or it isn't going to matter. I'm going to put all this work into it, and it's probably just going to fail, or nobody's still going to want to buy this, or this isn't going to happen. It's this scarcity mindset. People also that are trying to grow a business don't want to invest in certain areas of it or think that they need to pay well to their employees. Like one of the things, I have always paid my employees really, really well because I looked at them as partners to help me grow that business, and they should be compensated for helping me grow that business. And oftentimes I paid people that way. Like here's a base salary, and then here is commissions that you can earn. If we grow, we're all going to grow together and you can make more. So it had everybody unified on what our mission was and what we were trying to do. And then they were compensated accordingly. So if I did well, they were going to do well. And that was a formula for success, my friends, a formula for success. And so other people would be like, well, I'm only paying them that, or I can get away with just paying this much an hour, and I don't need to, do this, this, and this. And so that's a scarcity mindset that I don't want to really, build my business or invest into my business, whether that's with people or with money or with whatever that looks like. So that is one piece of a scarcity mindset that just is not very good. So the gratitude helps you keep a positive attitude. It helps you have an abundancy mindset. Like, I know that money is going to come in. I know that, I deserve this and I'm helping other people and what I'm bringing is value. And so I know that this is going to succeed. And so other people feel that from you. They don't feel that you're just selling to sell. They don't feel a money grab from you. They feel like, wow, okay, this person really does care. And if they're investing in a course, they feel that you care about them learning and you're actually giving them. Here's another scarcity versus when I first became a speaker, I would give out. There used to be sort of a strategy, and a lot of the speakers, big speakers, used it. And that was tell them a certain percentage of the idea and then say, oh, and when you buy my course or when you buy the book, you'll get the rest of the story, right? That was a strategy and a lot of people used it. And I thought, what a sucky strategy. I'm not going to use that strategy. So I'm going to go into this and I'm going to give them all the information that they would ever need to succeed. And guess what? My back of the room sales, when people bought first it was tapes, then it was CDs, right? Then it was just digital products. I sold more than any other speaker. I mean, we even had Zig Ziglar's team come to us and say, how are you doing this? How are you selling to 34% of a room? And versus they were all selling to 10% of a room. And I was like, because I give them so much information that there's no way, they're blown away that they can retain all of that. And they know they can't retain all of it. So they're like, wow, this is my blueprint for success. She gave it all to me. And now I want to take it home with me. Versus I'm just going to give them a little bit and make them buy my program to get the rest. And people didn't, because they didn't really know what they were missing. They didn't get the missing link. And so I had speakers coming to me, this is a true story, big speakers, and saying to me, you are making us look bad. By giving away the whole store, you're giving away the whole store. And some of them were like, oh, honey, I'll never forget. This was a pretty big speaker. Oh, honey, you're giving away too much. And I just sold to 36% of this audience. So I guess I'm not. And so I would just smile and say, thanks. Thank you for your unsolicited advice. But so no, I would just say, oh, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. But in the meantime, I was selling more from the back of the room because my mindset was one of abundancy. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to come onto the stage and I am going to teach you the exact blueprint for success. A, B, C, D. Here's why you do it. Here's how you do it. And here's some examples of how it works in real life. And people were like, oh my gosh. And they said, that was so much great information. I couldn't write fast enough. And so I go, well, this way you can take it home with you and listen to it again and again and again. Because it was basically the same speech. And then I'd have people say to me, now, am I going to get here exactly what I heard you do on the stage? Absolutely. Absolutely. So they were like, because you gave such good word choices, of what to say when you're on the phone, how to engage with people, how to talk with people. So it's like, absolutely, you are. And they did. So that's the difference of scarcity versus abundant thinking. And if you are helping people in a true and honest and sincere way, it's all going to come back to you tenfold. It truly is. And it does. So that mindset, I can't even express it enough. And we'll give some more examples of that next week, along with attitudes that people have about earning money and getting over that, getting out of your own way of earning money. So other benefits of gratitude journals: setting goals, positive attitude, abundancy mindset versus scarcity mindset. And this is another interesting fact that I found in doing the research on why use gratitude journals. People actually that use gratitude journals are actually feel healthier. Why? Because they have a better, healthy mindset, positive attitude. And when you have a positive attitude, you generally overall have a greater sense of well-being. So there's actual research that has been done that several doctors, especially in the arena of stroke patients or people that have had accidents and are going through PT and they are, have to regain a certain amount of mobility that they've lost or whatever that looks like. So stroke patients, people that have had accidents, people that are going through cancer. So they have found that the people that they would give them a gratitude journal at the beginning of that journey, like right after that, maybe starting PT, maybe going back through other types of therapy. It was like, okay, I want you to start using this journal. And instead of focusing on what you've lost, every day I want you to focus on what good has happened. Like, what have you gained? How are you feeling? And so they said that the people that used the gratitude journals had a quicker recovery period than the ones who didn't. And that's fascinating. Like, that is so fascinating to me. And so the gratitude journal is now part of, we design a new one every single year. This year we have a purple one that matches our purple planner. So that's our gratitude journal. This year, each one of them that we've had for the last 6 years, you can still get because we have those on discount because they have different prompts. We have the regular ones for sale this year, but like our ones from previous years are discounted. They're not dated, so you can use them at any time. So if you want to go to our website and get like some for a whole group that you have, like 100 of them, they are deeply, deeply discounted if you're buying them in bulk. So, and you can always send us a message if you're buying even more, and we can even work with you. So check out workfromyourhappyplace.com. That's where you'll find them. And then it comes with our bundle that we sell with our planner, the gratitude journal, and some other things that help your success journey. I'm all about the tools and creating tools that can help you to get there quicker or to get there better or to help you focus, to help you keep a healthy mindset, to help you with your skill sets like time management and goal setting and organizational skills. Like, all those things are going to play into your overall success. So that concludes today's talk about Wealthy Wednesday, because you know what? When we have gratitude in our mind and in our hearts for the things that we have, sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't have anything, or, we've got to make more money and we don't have it. And then you got to stop and say, but look what we have. Look where we are. Look what is good. And when you can stop and do that, you're going to receive more. And it's just a law of the universe. And it absolutely is true. I can't explain it 100% of why that law of the universe works, but it does. And so I hope that you will embrace gratitude, whether you use our journal or you use somebody else's journal. It doesn't matter to me. I'd love you to use ours, but start, even if it's get yourself a notebook and start writing down the things that you are grateful for in your life right now. And I promise you that you are going to have more things flow into you, and it's going to help you in your entire journey. So we'll see you again. We'll see you again tomorrow.